Welcome back to Gut Feelings Life Unfiltered. Today we are getting back to the foundation of everything we do, right, Jen?
Oh,
Everything.
yes.
Everything
The
we teach, everything.
all
And
of it.
it's all of it's all of it. Everything we wish more people understood about their health. So we're going to
Mm,
talk about functional medicine 101 and why root cause actually mother effing matters.
it
It
does.
does. It
It
matters
does.
because
Yeah.
here's what we see every single day in our practice. They're women that are coming in, they're saying, I'm just exhausted all the time. My hormones are a mess. And they might not even know what that means, but they're just like, I know like like my cycle's off, or like I am breaking out, or like this or that, or I want to kill my husband. Like and I never wanted to before. There's just like this feeling that something is off with their hormones, or maybe their gut is off, maybe they're like constipated, or maybe they have diarrhea, or maybe I don't know, they just have tummy aches,
Bloating.
like
Yeah.
bloating, like, or
God.
every time they eat they feel like they're going to explode, like nothing's digesting.
Yeah.
Or just simply, I have literally tried everything and nothing
Yeah.
is working, which I feel like our demographic, like who listens to our podcast, are like hyper vigilant women who like checked all the boxes, that are doing all the things. They got the weighted vest. They have the freaking million ounces of water. They have the 102,000 grams of protein. They are doing the 10,000 steps. Like they've done all of
Yes.
their things and like nothing is working. But
No.
underneath all of that is the quiet frustration of like, why is no one actually helping me get better? Like,
Yeah.
why externally? Like, why is nobody there for me? Why do I not feel heard? And the
Mhm.
truth is, it's not that your body is complicated. It's
No.
the most of these approaches are looking at it like completely in a wrong level, even at a functional medicine standpoint with some practitioners, and also like with obviously the modern medical model that we're all dying, literally dying in.
Yeah.
So
No.
let's break it down.
Yeah, and let's walk you through like your typical experience. You go to the like Mel and I have been there too. Like
Oh,
you go to the doctor with your symptoms, like whether it's fatigue, whether it's headaches, irregular cycles, bloating, anxiety, severe pelvic pain was why I went. And it's like you know your body. You know you don't feel right. And ladies, like I feel you. Like I don't care. Like nobody's going to tell you that you're wrong in knowing that you don't feel well. Like, you know, you can feel better. And
mhm.
like, I know Mel and I want this for you too. We want us all to feel the best we can feel. So, so trust yourselves. That's all I have to say. So, what do the doctors do? Like, they either run their basic labs, like very basic, like it's like nothing on their lab panels, or they'll do their like for me, like they did their little pap smear and tell me to take birth control. Like literally, their exams are very, very minimal,
I don't even feel
and
like they touch us sometimes.
they don't. Maybe they'll
Yeah.
talk to you for 5 minutes, like,
Uh,
it's so frustrating, to be honest, like, again, we all feel you, we have been there,
yeah.
and what the results come back and it's like, "Oh, everything's normal," and it's like, "But no, it's not because I don't feel normal," and it's
Mm.
like, basically you get some random stupid diagnosis, whatever they come up with, because they don't know what's going on with you because they really didn't even look that hard. And you'll get a prescription, whether it's I don't know, metformin or an anti-inflammatory or an antidepressant or birth control are like the biggest ones for us women. And again, it's like there's a time and a place for those medications. Absolutely, I understand. But what often gets missed is this question like, why is this happening in the first place? Like, why do I feel this way? Like, it's these symptoms are not random. They're signals that something underneath is going on that it's trying to get our attention. And I feel like it's ignored all the time, across all fields of medicine, and it's suppressed, and we never find out why this is happening.
Yeah. And I think so I love analogies because it really helps us to kind of like put it all together and make it real and make it real life. So this is my one of my favorite ways of explaining this. So think about your body like a sink. Your symptoms are the water overflowing onto the floor. And most approaches are going to focus on mopping the floor. They're going to take something for your headache, They're gonna take something for the reflux, they're gonna take something for the anxiety, but no one is asking, like, "Why is that sink overflowing?"
Yeah.
I mean, that's why is it overflowing in the first place? Is the drain clogged? Is the faucet running too fast? Is there pressure building through the whole entire fucking system? And functional medicine is about going way upstream, like getting to the root of it. And it's about turning off the faucet and unclogging the drain instead of just focusing
Wow.
on the floor of
Right?
the water on the
So
floor.
smart. So smart.
You're right.
Oh my god. Yeah, so and that's why, like, it's called root cause medicine, like, that's what Melissa said. It's like looking at the drain, looking at the faucet, like, what is the cause? And so when we define it, like, root cause doesn't mean that there's one single thing wrong. To be honest, most of the time for all of us,
Yeah.
there are multiple things going on, and I can't tell you how many people want that one thing, but
Yeah.
it's not one thing, it's barely ever one thing. So, it it's we just have to be open to where it's going to be more than one thing going on. And there are underlying imbalances in the whole system in the body, and those systems are connected. So we need to look at, like, this one is talking to this one, and
Yeah.
the connection between all of the systems, and definitely the nervous system at the core of all of that, because if we're not dressing the nervous system, which is the master regulator of all the systems in the body, then honestly, we're not getting to the root cause of your system. So it's like we need to address multiple different systems, which then will address multiple different symptoms. And again, we're not just putting band-aids on the surface.
Right, and I think that's where autoimmune gets so like, for as a person with autoimmune, um, the people out there that suffer with autoimmune, like, that it's so frustrating because they want one thing, but
Mhm.
most of the autoimmunes, if you look back at most autoimmunes, it's the nervous system. It's the
Yeah.
feeling, "Am I feeling safe?" Like, from a but it starts young. The symptoms kinda can start little small symptoms can start when you're younger, and then they progress and progress, and you have a big trauma, or you have more these micro traumas that follow you throughout your life. But this is
Yeah.
that, like, the frustration with the autoimmunes. It's like, when did this happen? Why did this happen? What is the single cause of it? And it's hard to identify from a medical standpoint of, like, where the malfunction is. But as a functional
Yeah.
medicine practitioner, we know. Right? So let's talk about the nervous system, which is what I'm essentially talking about. It's your body is
Yeah.
constantly asking the question, "Am I safe?" If the answer is no, or even like, not really." Like, sometimes your body is going to shift into that, like, survival mode, that fight, flight, fawn mode, that protection mode, keeping you safe, keeping you alive. And this is going to affect your cortisol rhythm. We've talked about this ad nauseum at this point, but your cortisol, it can have a regular healthy balance, and then it can be off, right? It can be flatlined, it can be higher in the morning, it can be higher at the night, but we want like a normal rhythm. And when you're in fight or flight, your cortisol can be shifted, or maybe even, right, for you, Jen, it was like flatlined, right? So, like,
Flatlined, yeah.
yeah. So also, the nervous system is going to affect your digestion. You're not going to prioritize eating or digesting your food if you're running from a bear always. I've said this too, in many episodes. Also, your immune function. So this is the autoimmune stuff. Also, just like getting sick all the time, or
Yeah.
feeling run down, or, I don't know. There's just like a lot of areas where the immune function can play out or can be affected. And then also hormone production. So if your body is always in this fight or flight, your hormones are not going to be stable. And then you throw in perimenopause, where your hormones are actually not stable. And
Yeah.
so you have like this really that's why I think perimenopause women are freaking
Have
out.
so many symptoms. We have
I
all the
do.
symptoms. Yeah.
Yeah, because we can't hide behind our healthy functioning, or, well, whatever, hormones anymore. Our robust
And
hormones.
the nervous system bucket of stress is full by that point when we're in
Yeah.
midlife, basically, and it's overflowing. We can't take any more stresses. It's
So you
crazy.
so you think it's like a combo. You think it's
Yeah.
like, okay, you think it's like, "Oh, yeah, your hormones are changing anyways, plus
Yeah.
life stuff." which is more
Yeah,
complicated.
and I think some people that go through perimenopause and have no symptoms probably have a more resilient nervous system where
Yeah.
they have more space for stresses to come in and not impact their health or their hormones or their digestion because they have more room for it. But for those of us that have have been living this chronic stress life, the
Yeah.
hypervigilance, not even being aware of some of our stresses that we have, our bucket is max full, and then we hit perimenopause, and boom, you have all the symptoms.
You know what we should have as a guest is somebody who has who's in perimenopause who doesn't have symptoms.
I would, yeah, we need to
Can
find
we
somebody.
find this, like,
Let us
okay, I'm putting
interview
this
you.
like, what were the boundaries at 16? Like, what did you do
Yes.
that was healthy? Like, how did you take care of yourself at
Tell
21?
us about your life. Yeah.
Tell me about how it all started, and then teach us 40 dummies that, like,
Oh
had
my
no
god.
boundaries.
Right?
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
so
so the next
that would be fun.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so if you are that person, reach out to us, please,
Yes,
because we
please.
wanna have you on the show.
Mhm.
So the next system that we look at also for root cause medicine, functional medicine, is blood sugar regulation. This one is
This is my
massive, like,
problem.
oh my god, blood sugar stability is one of the most overlooked drivers of symptoms as well. So, if your blood sugar is constantly spiking and crashing, which again gets impacted in perimenopause because estrogen helps to kind of buffer the insulin response. When that decreases, we have a lot more blood sugar dysregulation. But you'll see fatigue, you'll see cravings, anxiety, poor sleep, hormone disruption. And this is because insulin and cortisol are tightly connected.
So, I guess I have, like, so many questions about this because it's like we're talking about the nervous system, right? And then we talk about
Mhm.
blood sugar regulation, but they definitely go together.
They
Like,
do. They're intertwined.
they're
There's
va
like
they're
webs
you
everywhere.
can't have one without the other. I mean, I guess you can
No.
have stable blood sugar and still have a fucked up nervous system.
I
Maybe,
don't
right? I don't
I don't think you
know.
can.
I
I
don't think you
honestly think
can.
that the nervous system is at like the bottom of the pyramid and it has to be addressed. And if you have blood sugar issues, you need to look at the nervous system. Like they
Yeah.
are that connected.
I wonder if we should have just talked about the nervous. No.
I
We could
mean,
talk about all
that's
these
why
other
we
things.
talk about nervous system
I
all the
know.
time. But
I
yeah.
feel like the nervous system is at the top, and then we're gonna talk about all the stuff that us affected if we could, like, change up this
Yes.
podcast a little bit. But I love talking about blood sugar because I think it is something that, if people just assume, "Well, I don't have diabetes," like, "My doctor says my blood work is fine." It's like,
Yeah.
well,
And also, you might have your fasting glucose might be okay, but
yeah,
are they looking at fasting insulin? There
they
are
never
markers
do.
that can catch it way earlier. Like when you have high glucose, fasting glucose, you're like way progressed. So there are other markers that need to be checked as well. And
Yeah.
they're not. Yeah.
They don't, you know why? Because insurance doesn't cover it. It's weird because I
Correct.
had to, like, with my doctor when I had my annual whatever, I was like, "Can we just do fasting insulin?" And she was like, "Well," I'm like, "I just feel like I want to," and,
Yeah.
they charged me for it. I think that it's
How much was it?
I don't remember. It was like maybe 40. I don't know. I actually don't know.
Okay.
But I think, because it doesn't fit into, like, because insurance has, like, these things that you have to do in order for them to get, like, in good standing, right? So, like,
Hmm.
now all of a sudden they want me to do an EKG because I'm over 40. So, I'm like, "Well, do I have to do that?" And they're like, "Yeah, you have to."
Wow.
Because they have to follow the checklist of the insurance model. Like, they
Yeah.
can't
They
not
just
do the EKG. I mean, I guess I can
standard of care.
care. Yes. And I was like, "Whatever, what's the
Gosh.
harm? Test my heart." Like, I'm fine with that. And
Well, that's why they, like, push the mammograms too, and it's, like,
yes, and that's annoying.
so annoying.
I don't do that standard of care. I mean, I do what I need to do is what
Yeah,
I'm not saying
but
don't get your
honestly,
mammogram,
for
but
you, like, even if insurance won't cover the test, I feel like it's their job to be like, "Your insurance won't cover fasting insulin. This is how much it's gonna be out of pocket. This is the information that we will get from this test. Do you wanna pay for it out of pocket?" And then
yeah.
you can decide, like, "Yes, I do," or "No, I don't." Like,
Well,
but we're not given those choices.
no, and interesting enough, and the standard of care also not might not be covered by insurance
Yeah,
because
100%.
because of my familial history with breast cancer and my own things, they advised me on getting an MRI for a breast MRI.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh." They're like, "Well, this is the standard of care." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's freaking $1,500."
It shouldn't even be that
I
much.
mean,
That's
it
crazy.
was crazy. It was crazy. And I
Okay.
was like, "Okay, I'm doing this once."
Yes.
So, I
Jesus.
again, guys, don't follow this. Like, do what your doctor says to do, but, like, it just, like, you
Yeah.
have to start asking yourself the
But
questions.
but also, yeah, we want you guys to kind of guide your doctor
Yes.
because nobody's gonna care about you as much as you care about you, and you have to be your biggest cheerleader because, honestly, you will get lost in the system, and that's why we're trying to, like, power you with some of this information where then you can go to your doctor and ask for these things and be like, "Hey, do you think fasting I saw my glucose was a little bit high. Do you think fasting insulin might be a helpful test?" Like, just knowing some of this stuff and some of these doctors are amazing and will work with you and honestly might be super excited that you
Yes,
even know
some
some of
are.
this stuff.
Yes.
And that's fun. Like then you can work with a
Mhm.
doctor. But it's when we get in these like arguments with doctors because they won't work with us, that's when it's frustrating.
It's very frustrating, and you just and then, I mean, even from my point of view, like, when the doctor says, "No, that's not necessary," or kind of even makes fun of you in a way, like, or
Mhm.
gaslights you, you feel so defeated, and I'm as a functional medicine practitioner, I can, like, understand that experience or whatever, but as a person, if you're not in this world, like, I would just be like, "Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm not gonna do that." So you
Whatever you say.
really, really have to be you have to have the integrity, like, your own integrity, like, you have to know who you are and what you need and what you want, and that is very hard to do. It's
Mhm.
very hard to do. Alright, so let's talk about we talked about, blood sugar and stability. Well, first off, nervous system, obviously, we think that's the
Yes.
most important. Blood
Most
sugar,
important.
and now let's talk about gut health because,
Yeah.
your gut is important. And I know that that was, like, the thing 10 years ago, like, everybody was like, "Gut health, it's everything," and it is huge. It
Yeah.
can do so many good things for you if your gut is healthy, and not only that, you just feel better because when you have tummy problems, it sucks. So,
Yes.
if your gut is not just digesting, though, it also impacts, like, the nutrient it's if your gut is not digesting, it impacts like how you absorb nutrients. It will
Yeah.
affect your immune system because 70% of the immune system is in your gut. I even think that number might be a little bit higher maybe now
I think it
that we
is,
did
yeah.
a little more. Yeah. Also it'll affect your inflammation in your body. And then again, hormone metabolism. This list I feel like is so solid
Yeah.
because it's what your gut there's so many things that your gut can impact in your overall health, and if your gut is off, everything downstream can be affected.
Yeah, and to full circle this back around, if you've done all the things for gut health, you've changed your diet, you've taken the supplements, you've done all the things, and you have not addressed your nervous system, you're still living in
Mm,
fight or flight, you're eating on the go, you're rushing, you're not like breathing when you're eating, you're eating super fast. All of that is going to impact your digestion. So it's
uh-huh.
like, I mean, again, because Mel and I have been through all of that, I was doing all the other things for my gut health. But again, root cause, nervous system, I hadn't addressed that. So it's like when we go back to the nervous system,
Mm,
everything filters down to improve all the other systems.
it's so true.
Yeah. Yeah. And so the next one is inflammation. And you know, we're not poo-pooing on inflammation. Like we need inflammation at certain times, and it
Yeah,
is actually good
it's a good
for the
point.
short term.
Yeah.
But chronic low grade inflammation, that's where we start to see joint pain, fatigue, brain fog, again, hormone issues. So
Mhm.
what there can we help and support, but also going back to the nervous system, it would also address inflammation. But then from there, what other areas then can we filter in to support these other systems?
Yeah. I like that point about the inflammation. It is like all these things are your body's way of supporting and like K keeping yourself in a healthy state, like, it's
Yeah.
homeostasis. So you might have inflammation, like, when you scrape your knee, you have inflammation, and that's good. You want it to heal, you want inflammation. You break a leg, you want inflammation, you want it to heal.
Yeah.
All these different things are just little cues for that your body is working,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. I know. That's
Alright.
good things.
I know, right? So
Yeah.
another thing is hormone balance. I don't know, Jen, how often do we talk about hormones?
Every second of our lives.
of our lives. So here's the kicker. Hormones are often the result, not the cause.
Yeah.
It's the result. Yeah, I love that. And you don't just have low progesterone for no reason.
Mhm.
Sometimes, again, upstream, root cause, something
Are you
upstream
stressed out?
is
How's your nervous system?
how's your nervous system. Just keep on going back to that.
Yeah. Again, because a lot of us will like go, even if you're lucky enough to find a doctor that will test your progesterone, they're like, oh, your progesterone's low. Let's give you that. That's great. You probably do need that. But also at the same time that we're
Yeah,
supporting your progesterone or supplementing with progesterone, let's support your nervous system because if you're making more cortisol instead of progesterone, like these are just things that we need to find out why. The whys of functional
the whys.
medicine.
This is the 101, functional medicine 101.
Why? We are the what are we, second graders in the front row? Like, why is
Yeah.
this happening?
No, not even like my 4-year-old.
Four, we're
He
4-year-olds.
okay, so my 4-year-old wants to know about like the black hole, and then he like wants to know very hard details about like his dad's death, which is like maybe not for this podcast, but
Wow.
like I'm just saying like we want to be this is a little bit of a
Oh,
diversion, but yeah, like it's just really interesting. Some of those it starts young when we want to
it
know
does.
more and we want to
Yeah.
ask these really hard questions, and the adults shoot it down. This is like
Mhm.
our life in going into a doctor's office. When
Yes.
the adult's not listening to us, they don't care that we're asking super awkward, hard questions like, why does my poop look this way?
Yeah.
Why can't I poop like a normal person? What is the symptom?
Oh my
They're
god.
just like,
Yeah.
or
No.
yeah, yeah. Or they may say it is your nervous system. And then that's it.
Yeah.
Like my doctor, I was like, I have chronic headaches. Please tell me, whatever. And I was like, I think it's mind body. And she's like, I think so too. It
Go
just
figure it out.
it just left me. I was
Bye,
like,
Felicia.
"Bye, Felicia."
Oh my god.
Exactly.
All right. So the next system that we look at is our detox and liver function, which is so critical. Like I was talking
Mhm.
to my sister about the liver this weekend. I
Oh,
mean, your body has to process hormones, toxins, environmental exposures, like all the stuff we put on our skin, those
mhm.
lotions, these just even cleaning products, like all a lot of these things get filtered and detoxed through
The
our livers.
plastics. The
Yeah, the
plastics.
plastics. I mean, it's just like so much. So when you realize so many things, all these toxins out there, even medications, like all hormones, yeah, alcohol, my gosh, like all of this
Yeah.
stuff that our poor sweet liver is doing for us, we want to support as much as we can. And if your detox pathways are sluggish, things will recirculate. Like your symptoms will start to build till they become more of an issue. But it's like especially even when we're talking about hormones, like our estrogen gets detoxed through the liver and then has to be pooped out. So if you're not detoxing through your liver and you're not pooping, like,
Mhm.
whoa, we got some problems here. So
Big problems.
we need to look at all the systems that are contributing to the problem.
Yes. So let's bring it all together. Let's
Yeah.
just tie it all up. You cannot separate these systems. And let
Mm-mm.
me like give you an example. So a patient comes in, they have PMS, they have bloating, they have fatigue. I mean, you could easily say, this is a hormone issue.
Yeah.
Toss it up. Like you
Bye,
just
Felicia.
oh, you like saying that today. But let's just like go a little deeper, right? So
Yeah.
maybe what's actually happening is you have chronic stress. Like
Yeah.
you own a home and it's falling apart and you need to do that. And you're
Ugh.
like also managing like 3 jobs, or you have 5 kids, or you have like 2 dogs and your dogs are bad. Like, like
Aging parents, just like
aging parent,
so
like
many things.
you name it. I can like the list is so long, just chronic stress. And then this is going to dysregulate your cortisol. Okay. So then we
Yeah.
have dysregulated our cortisol, which is going to affect how we manage our blood sugar. So we're going to have blood sugar swings.
Hmm.
And then our blood sugar swings are going to affect how we handle inflammation and different inflammation in our body. And then the inflammation is going to affect our gut. And that's going to affect our digestion, how we poop, how we digest our foods, all of the things. And then that gut digestion or dysfunction is going to affect our estrogen clearance. And if we have a dysfunction with our gut, we are going to have poor estrogen clearance, like Jen was talking about earlier. So now we have estrogen dominance,
Mm,
same symptom,
yep.
but very different understanding. Do you guys see this like cascade of events? Like, so just to say, okay, you have dysregulated cortisol or you have, let's heal the gut. We're looking at this whole pathway of how it came about. And
Yeah.
just a very different understanding and a very functional medicine is just like such a beautiful way of looking at it in this way. And your primary care is not going to look at it like that. I hate to say
But
it.
and you also have to see how intricate all of that
Yes.
that Melissa just said was. Like, this is why functional medicine doctors can't take insurance. We're not gonna spend
We're
5
not
minutes with you because there's so
yeah,
much going on where we need to look at all these systems. We need to see where the mismatch is or where the dysfunction is, and it's like, we need that time, and it also takes a lot more, like, schooling and coursework and trainings, which
yeah.
Melissa and I love. Like, this is what lights us up, but it's like most primary care doctors are just in the insurance model because that's who pays them, and they're limited with their time. And unfortunately, some of them are so passionate and it's amazing, but like again, they have 5 minutes with you and it's sad, so they're not able to look at really what is causing the problem.
I know, and I think that's the hardest part about functional medicine is like we've talked about this before, like off camera, is that like you have to kind of know all of these things. And it's
Yeah.
very, very overwhelming. And even if and we've also talked about this on camera of like, even if you're an MD and you like throw a supplement and you say, take this, like you didn't get any more training than anybody else, any other, like a chiropractor, any other practitioner, you didn't get functional medicine training. So to claim that only MDs understand how functional medicine works is fucking bullshit, and it makes me so mad.
I
Now,
can feel the anger.
oh, so much anger. Now, if you're an MD that went and did like the IFM courses or you did the courses that taught you how to how to understand functional medicine,
Which a lot
then
of MDs have, and it's amazing, but they also
not
don't
not
take
not
insurance.
not everybody. No, no.
Yeah, no, but some of them have, but they don't take insurance.
Right,
And
right.
we have access to the same courses is what you're saying. Yeah,
Yeah,
we all do
exactly.
the same
We
classes
all do this
regardless.
we literally do the same functional medicine classes,
Yeah,
and we have more anatomy that we learn in school. We
yeah.
like,
More nutrition.
more nutrition that
Yeah,
they don't have in medical school. So it's always interesting, I think, about functional medicine where like, people out there in the world are like, "Well, I will only see an MD who does." It's like, yeah, but they might not even have any training in
yeah,
it.
yeah.
So, it's not
We digress there, we digress.
did we?
So, let's talk about why people
So
get
mad.
stuck.
Sorry. Maybe I just got why people get stuck? I just got stuck.
We got stuck. We
We
need
got
to go to a rage room for that one.
I think I do.
Um Okay, so this is the part that, like, I honestly and we both feel passionate about. Like, practitioners are failing their patients, and it's really sad because we are stuck in a model that doesn't go deep enough. Like, the common things that we see where we're jumping from supplement to supplement, as well as trying extreme diets or over exercising or constantly searching for the next thing. But if the nervous system is dysregulated, if the body doesn't feel safe, it will not heal. So, no matter how perfect everything is, and a lot of us are perfectionists where we are following that protocol to the T, man, we
Mm.
are exercising and drinking our water and prioritizing sleep. And this is how I was with everything in my life. Like, I was doing all of the things, like, health was my life. And yet, I got an autoimmune disease because I was not addressing my nervous system. Like we say time and time again, that is the foundation of all other systems. So it cannot be missed. And now that's why I'm like, I will never miss this for my patients because I feel like that was the missing piece for myself.
It's so interesting too that like we became chiropractors and it's like that's the nerve like the I mean chiropractic is the nervous system. It is
Yeah,
kind of interesting that like we're having this like full circle moment of
I
like
know.
right? Like how cool is that? So let's talk about what healing actually looks like from a functional
Yes.
medicine standpoint. So what does this mean for you? But
Mhm.
healing becomes less about doing more. And from our practice, this is how we like to look at patients. We don't want to give you 5 million things to do, right? Because it can overwhelm the system. And it's more about doing the right things in the right order. And so we focus on regulating the nervous system. Yep. We're going to stabilize your blood sugar. We're going to support all of the gut function. We're going to reduce some of the inflammation, and then we're going to optimize your hormones. We're going to focus on that order. And it's layered, but it's very, very intentional. And honestly, it actually works. We did it on ourselves, we do it on patients. People are feeling good because we go through this process.
Yeah. And that's why too, like, if you guys go back to our hormone episode, it's like, we love hormones. Like, I love bioidentical
Yeah.
hormones. But again, like we said, like, it has to be in the right order. It has to be intentional. Like Melissa said, like, these other systems have to be addressed before we get to the hormonal system. Like, that's a little bit more downstream. So, when we reframe it, it's like, if you take one thing from this whole entire episode, let it be this. Like, your symptoms, they're not random. Your body is not working against you. It's adapting, it's responding, and it's communicating. So it's our job to figure out, like, what is it communicating to us?
Yeah, and then be very patient with yourself. Like, this is not going to be this go there's some practitioners out there for a quick fix if you need relief, and, like, we can support some of the relief, but you also need to know if you choose a functional medicine practitioner that you need to, like, settle in. Like, let your body feel safe in this process and know that you're going to be okay and you are supported. So you have to be patient with yourself, with your practitioner.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling like I've tried everything and nothing is working, I just want you to zoom out and I want you to ask yourself a question. What might I be missing at the root of all of this? Because when you start like working with your body instead of
Your
constantly
nervous
fighting
system.
it, yeah, your nervous system, everything changes. Everything
Yeah.
changes.
And yeah, I know. I hope that the one thing you did take was your nervous system is super important. But
Just
I
really.
mean, I hope it made sense to you guys, and I hope it resonated because, like, I don't know, we need to share this information. I wish I had had that information sooner because I'm sure most doctors aren't going to tell you, "Hey, we need to work on your nervous system." They're going to give you a medication for your high blood pressure or something like that. So, share this, guys, with your friends. Like, if you are curious what functional medicine is and kind of what we look at, because I feel like this is a field of medicine that is what most people that are interested in health are looking for. So share this with your friends and yeah, the nervous system. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We will see you on the next episode.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye.